The entire basketball world holds its breath as the Los Angeles Lakers prepare for another stretch without their biggest star. LeBron James, at 40 years old, finds himself battling a stubborn case of sciatica that's kept him off the court far longer than anyone expected. The King's absence has raised both concern and curiosity. When will LeBron finally make his long-awaited debut in the 2025-26 NBA season? Reports from insider Shams Charania suggest that the veteran could return within 2 weeks, targeting November 18th, when the Lakers face the Utah Jazz at home. But before that, he'll miss a 5-game road trip that will take the team through Atlanta, Charlotte, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, and Milwaukee. The Lakers have chosen caution over urgency, focusing on long-term health rather than short-term gain, and that decision might define the course of their entire season. LeBron's ongoing battle with sciatica has become one of the most closely watched storylines of the NBA's early season. The condition, caused by irritation or compression of the sciatic nerve, leads to sharp, tingling pain that runs from the lower back through the leg and sometimes down to the foot. It's a painful, unpredictable issue, especially for an athlete who has carried the physical load of 22 previous seasons at the highest level. Head coach J.J. Redick remains optimistic but realistic, saying, "Everything has to keep progressing with the return-to-play protocols. We don't have an exact date yet, but it's within that mid-November window. Hopefully he'll meet all the requirements and get back to full action soon." Redick's calm tone hides the underlying tension. Every Lakers fan is wondering the same thing. How much longer can LeBron's body endure the grind of the NBA? During the Lakers' road trip, LeBron might train with the South Bay Lakers, the team's G League affiliate, to regain rhythm and strength through 5-on-5 sessions. Alternatively, he could wait until the team returns home to resume full contact practices. His recovery is being handled with surgical precision. Every minute of rest, every drill, and every stretch is carefully monitored. The Lakers' medical staff knows that one wrong move could derail not just LeBron's season, but perhaps his entire career. After all, the King isn't just fighting pain, he's fighting time itself. The body that once seemed indestructible is now demanding patience, and for a player obsessed with perfection, that's the hardest battle of all. It's worth noting that LeBron had already been held out of preseason workouts and early exhibition games because of irritation in his gluteal nerve area. What was initially believed to be minor discomfort has since been diagnosed as full-blown sciatica. The issue has lingered, forcing LeBron to focus entirely on recovery and conditioning. Yet even from the sidelines his presence looms large. The Lakers, led by Luka Doncic, have managed an impressive 7 wins in 9 games, proving they can hold the fort without their leader. Still, everyone in Los Angeles knows that their championship hopes hinge on one man's return. Without LeBron's leadership and experience, no amount of talent can replicate the calm, strategic dominance he brings when the game is on the line. Not everyone believes LeBron should push for a comeback. Hall of Famer Charles Barkley made headlines this week with a brutally honest take on the situation. Speaking on the Jim Rome show, Barkley expressed his concern, saying, "I hope he retires soon. I hate watching great players struggle physically. I went through it myself in my final years. It's frustrating and humiliating. LeBron's obviously better than I ever was, but I don't want to see him just hanging on. I'd rather see him take a farewell tour and walk away with dignity because he's one of the 3 greatest players I've ever seen, right behind Michael and Kobe. Time always wins." Barkley's words hit hard. They echo the unspoken fear of every LeBron fan, that we're witnessing the twilight of a legend. Despite the doubts, there's still hope within the Lakers camp. According to Charania, LeBron has been training individually, building up toward full 5-on-5 action. His plan is methodical, ramping up strength, movement, and endurance before testing himself against real defenders. The Lakers staff believes his debut will come around mid-November, but nothing is guaranteed. It's uncharted territory, Charania noted. He's turning 41 next month, entering his 23rd NBA season. That's why the Lakers' off-season moves, signing Jake LaRavia, DeAndre Ayton, and Marcus Smart, were so critical. They're compensating for the temporary loss of one of the greatest ever. For now, all Los Angeles can do is wait and trust that their king will rise again. The Lakers continue to fight through the season, balancing their excitement for Luka Doncic's dominance with concern for LeBron's health. Doncic has been unstoppable, dropping 35 points, grabbing 9 rebounds, and dishing out 13 assists in their latest win over the San Antonio Spurs. He even added 5 steals and 2 blocks, proving he's not just filling the stat sheet but leading with intensity. His battle with Victor Wembanyama continues to capture fans' imaginations, and so far Luka has remained undefeated in their matchups. Alongside Ayton's consistent double-doubles, the Lakers have found temporary stability. But even with their winning record, there's a sense that the team is holding its breath, waiting for something, or rather, someone, greater. LeBron's absence has transformed the Lakers into a story of resilience. Every game, every win feels like a message. The team refuses to fall apart without its king. Yet the anticipation for his return grows with each passing day. Fans, analysts, and even rivals want to see how much fire still burns in LeBron's 40-year-old body. Will he come back stronger, defying age once more, or will this injury mark the beginning of his final chapter? For now, the answer remains suspended between hope and inevitability. But one thing is certain, when LeBron James finally steps back onto that hardwood, the world will be watching, knowing that every dribble, every dunk, and every second might be the last echoes of an era that changed basketball forever. As the Lakers' 5-game road trip begins, the absence of LeBron James casts a long shadow over every arena they enter. Fans in Atlanta, Charlotte, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, and Milwaukee still chant his name, hoping for even a glimpse of the man who defined 2 decades of basketball greatness. Yet the king remains grounded in Los Angeles, dedicating himself to the grueling work of recovery. Inside the Lakers' state-of-the-art training facility, LeBron's days are now a cycle of physical therapy, resistance drills, and measured progress. The room hums with focus. No cameras, no noise, just a legend battling the invisible clock of time. His trainers know that his return must be perfect. One wrong twist, one sudden flare-up of the sciatic nerve, and everything could unravel. For LeBron, this is not just about getting back on the court. It's about proving that the fire of competition still burns as fiercely as ever, even in a 40-year-old body that has carried the weight of history. The Lakers' coaching staff remains cautious, echoing the same mantra, patience. J.J. Redick, the rookie head coach turned tactician, has become the voice of calm reason. In press conferences, he speaks carefully about LeBron's timeline, refusing to commit to exact dates. "We're letting him move through the process naturally," Redick says, his tone measured but hopeful. "He's been incredible in his discipline. We just have to let his body tell us when it's ready." Behind the scenes, though, everyone feels the tension. The Lakers have championship aspirations, and every day without LeBron feels like a ticking clock. Still, Redick knows the bigger picture. A fully healthy LeBron in the playoffs is worth any number of early season absences. The challenge is keeping the team confident, united, and sharp while their leader heals in silence. Meanwhile, LeBron's recovery has become a story of modern sports science meeting human willpower. Sciatica is notoriously unpredictable. The pain can vanish one day and return with vengeance the next. Every stretch, every therapy session becomes a test of endurance and discipline. Specialists monitor nerve response, muscle stability, and alignment, using advanced imaging to track progress. LeBron's body, once a marvel of athletic invincibility, is now under microscopic analysis. Yet those close to him describe an unwavering determination. "He's not slowing down mentally," one insider said. "If anything, he's hungrier than ever. He wants to prove that 40 is just a number." That mindset, the relentless drive to defy time, is what separates LeBron James from every athlete who came before him. While the Lakers navigate the season without him, the rest of the roster has stepped up in surprising ways. Luka Doncic continues to dazzle with his vision and composure, orchestrating the offense with a maturity beyond his years. DeAndre Ayton has embraced his role as the team's enforcer in the paint, while Marcus Smart brings grit and leadership on the defensive end. Jake LaRavia, the underdog signing, has quickly earned respect for his hustle and clutch shooting. Together, they've created an unexpected chemistry, a team that refuses to fold under pressure. Their 7-2 record isn't just a stat, it's a statement. It says that the Lakers can adapt, evolve, and fight even without their king. But deep down, every player knows the truth. LeBron's return will change everything. His presence commands order, confidence, and belief. Yet, amid the optimism, the whispers of retirement grow louder. Charles Barkley's recent comments continue to echo through sports talk shows and social media. "Time always wins," he said, a phrase that seems to haunt LeBron's current situation. Fans debate whether it's time for the king to take his final bow, while others insist he still has one last run left in him. Every video of LeBron walking into the facility, every clip of him shooting jumpers in practice, is dissected for clues. Is he moving freely? Is the pain gone? The speculation has become endless. But those who know LeBron best understand one thing: he won't go out quietly. Retirement isn't in his vocabulary unless he decides it's on his own terms. Shams Charania's latest update brings a glimmer of hope. LeBron has begun increasing his training load and might soon be cleared for limited 5-on-5 action. The plan is simple yet delicate: to transition from solo workouts to competitive play without aggravating the nerve. "He's closer than people think," Charania reported. "The Lakers are being cautious, but there's real optimism." It's the kind of news that sends ripples through the NBA. Opposing teams start planning again for a world where LeBron returns. For 22 years, his mere presence on the schedule has altered defensive schemes and playoff strategies. Even now, as he heals, the league waits, because when LeBron plays, the game itself changes. The irony of it all is that while LeBron rests, the Lakers continue to thrive. Their latest victory against the Spurs was a nail-biter, a 118-116 win powered by Doncic's near triple-double and Ayton's dominance on the boards. Victor Wembanyama, the young phenom from France, struggled against the Lakers' defensive wall and fouled out in the final quarter. The win marked another chapter in Luka Doncic's growing legend and kept the Lakers near the top of the Western Conference standings. Still, every post-game interview seems to circle back to one question: when will LeBron return? The silence from the team only fuels anticipation. The answer may come soon. If all goes according to plan, November 18th could mark the moment the basketball world has been waiting for. The Lakers' home crowd at Crypto.com Arena will rise to its feet, lights dimmed, as LeBron's name echoes through the speakers. It won't just be another game, it will be a statement of resilience, endurance, and legacy. Whether this marks the beginning of his final season or the start of one last push for glory, one thing is certain: LeBron James is not done rewriting history. The King's body may ache, but his spirit remains unbroken, and the story of his return might just be the most inspiring chapter yet in the saga of basketball's greatest legend. The countdown has officially begun. Inside the Lakers' training facility, the energy is electric but tense, as if everyone knows they're standing on the edge of something monumental. LeBron James is inching closer to full contact practices, the long-awaited 5-on-5 sessions that will determine whether his comeback happens on November 18th. Every report, every insider leak adds fuel to the fire. Cameras catch glimpses of him shooting, stretching, smiling briefly, and then disappearing back into the shadows of preparation. For most players, a few missed games would be routine. But this is LeBron James. Every absence feels like a chapter in basketball history. The world isn't just waiting for a return. It's waiting for an answer to a question that's haunted athletes for generations. Can greatness truly defy time? Behind the scenes, LeBron's recovery program has become a blend of science and willpower. His medical team has built an intricate schedule: infrared therapy, muscle activation drills, cryotherapy, and hours of stretching to relieve the tension on the sciatic nerve. Specialists monitor each nerve signal with precision, ensuring no relapse occurs. The King's discipline is legendary. Teammates talk about how he's usually the first to arrive and the last to leave, even during rehabilitation. He treats recovery like a playoff series, one staff member said. It's that mindset, the refusal to settle, that's kept him relevant for more than 2 decades. Yet even with all the technology, training, and dedication in the world, one truth remains unavoidable: time doesn't negotiate. It only slows down for those who dare to fight it. J.J. Redick, balancing the weight of expectations on his rookie coaching shoulders, keeps his approach grounded. In team meetings, he often reminds the players that LeBron's health is the top priority. "We don't rush legends," he told reporters this week. "We build their return the right way." Still, the internal struggle is evident. The Lakers are riding momentum, sitting near the top of the Western Conference, but the challenge of maintaining focus without their leader is immense. Redick's tactical mind has surprised critics. His offensive schemes have unlocked new dimensions in Luka Doncic's game, and Ayton's rebounding has been nothing short of dominant. Yet everyone understands that once LeBron steps back in, the dynamic will shift entirely. It's not just about strategy, it's about aura. LeBron changes the psychology of the court. Meanwhile, the NBA world continues to buzz with speculation. Analysts debate whether LeBron's return will reignite the Lakers' championship hopes or simply mark the final stage of his illustrious career. Some, like Barkley, insist that retirement would be the honorable choice. Others argue that LeBron's intelligence and longevity make him capable of redefining how superstars age in modern basketball. Social media only adds to the frenzy. Every clip, every photo of him in practice gear becomes viral in seconds. Fans flood comment sections with optimism, counting down the days until November 18th. To them, it's not just about watching a player. It's about witnessing history trying to outlast biology. But for LeBron, this moment is deeply personal. Those close to him say he's been unusually introspective during this recovery. He's seen the conversations, heard the doubts, and stored them away as motivation. His workouts now carry an edge of defiance. Every rep, every sprint, a statement against time and expectation. It's the same competitive fire that defined his career from the start, the hunger that once turned a high school phenom from Akron into the face of global basketball. Yet now that fire burns differently, quieter, more deliberate. There's a wisdom to it, an understanding that greatness isn't just about dominance anymore. It's about endurance, the ability to keep moving forward when your body says stop. As the Lakers' road trip continues, the team's chemistry has reached a surprising harmony. Luka Doncic, who initially seemed like a temporary leader, has evolved into the perfect bridge between eras, the youthful energy of the present meeting the experience of the past. His playmaking has turned the Lakers into a fast-paced, unpredictable machine. DeAndre Ayton's consistency gives them balance in the paint, while Marcus Smart has embraced the defensive heart of the squad, pushing intensity every night. Even without LeBron, the team feels whole, but everyone knows that the return of the King will elevate them to something far greater. It's like a missing chord in a song that's already beautiful but waiting to become unforgettable. Meanwhile, the whispers from inside the Lakers camp grow louder. LeBron's test sessions are going well. The pain is manageable. His movement, smoother. His confidence returning. Some insiders hint that he's already scrimmaging privately, gauging how far he can push without triggering another flare-up. "He looks sharp," one trainer reportedly said. "You'd never guess he's 40. Still, the Lakers refuse to make any official announcements. No confirmation, no denial. The silence has become strategic. Every day of mystery builds anticipation, and by the time the Lakers return to Crypto.com Arena, the narrative will have reached its boiling point. And then there's the emotional weight of it all. If November 18th truly marks LeBron's return, it won't just be a game, it will be a spectacle. The lights will dim, the arena will roar, and the King will rise again to test himself against time one more time. Fans will remember every dunk, every assist, every comeback he's ever delivered. They'll realize they're not just watching basketball, they're watching legacy in motion. Whether this season ends in triumph or farewell, one thing remains undeniable: LeBron James has already conquered the sport. What comes next is not about proving greatness. It's about defining what it means to never surrender. The clock keeps ticking, and November 18th is no longer just a date, it's a promise. The anticipation surrounding LeBron's return has reached a fever pitch. Sports networks have turned it into a countdown event, with segments dedicated solely to analyzing his warm-ups, dissecting every movement frame by frame. Talk shows debate whether this comeback could redefine how legends age, while former players describe it as the most anticipated moment in modern basketball. Outside the arena, fans gather daily, chanting, waving banners, and wearing vintage jerseys as if preparing for a coronation. Inside, the Lakers' locker room hums with quiet anticipation. Every player feels the weight of what's coming. They're not just awaiting a teammate, they're about to share the court with history. Behind closed doors, LeBron continues to test his limits. The rehabilitation facility has become his sanctuary, a place where sweat, science, and silence merge. His trainers push him through agility drills that mimic in-game chaos, rapid pivots, explosive sprints, and off-balance jumpers. Sensors track every muscle response, feeding real-time data into performance monitors. Each movement is scrutinized, each breath measured. Yet what amazes the staff isn't the technology, it's LeBron's sheer will. There's an intensity in his eyes that no chart can capture. It's the look of someone who refuses to let time dictate his story. When the sessions end, he often stays behind, replaying footage of his form, studying himself like a scientist searching for perfection. He's not coming back to participate, one insider whispers. He's coming back to dominate. Meanwhile, the Lakers organization is carefully orchestrating the atmosphere of his return. Marketing teams are designing tribute videos, the arena crew is preparing a new light show, and ticket prices have skyrocketed. Every brand associated with LeBron is ready to ride the wave. Nike, Beats, even streaming platforms lining up documentaries. It's not just a comeback, it's an event with global implications. But beneath all the spectacle lies a more personal narrative. LeBron's internal battle between legacy and mortality. He's acutely aware that every comeback could be his last, that every game might be another step toward the inevitable end of an era. Yet instead of fear, there's peace. As one close friend revealed, he's not fighting time anymore, he's dancing with it. For the younger players on the roster, this return feels like witnessing a myth come to life. Luka Doncic, now flourishing under pressure, calls LeBron's mentorship the most powerful classroom in basketball. DeAndre Ayton, whose defensive instincts have sharpened dramatically, says simply, "You feel him even when he's not on the floor." That's the thing about LeBron, his presence is gravitational. It pulls everyone toward excellence. And for JJ Redick, the rookie coach who once analyzed LeBron from behind a commentator's desk, guiding him now feels surreal. "You don't coach LeBron," he joked in a recent interview. "You collaborate with him." But behind that humor lies reverence, the awareness that Redick's young career could be defined by how he manages this very moment. The media circus, however, has no mercy. Every analyst, every outlet, is desperate for the headline that will define the return. "Is this LeBron's last dance?" reads one headline. "The final crown," says another. Some critics argue that his comeback could overshadow the team's development, while others believe it could cement the Lakers as title favorites once again. Every storyline feeds into the frenzy. Yet through all the noise, LeBron remains silent. No interviews, no statements, only glimpses. A brief smile during warm-ups. A subtle nod after a three-pointer in practice footage. It's as if he's letting the silence build the legend. The absence of words becomes more powerful than any speech could be. Then, as the days melt away, something shifts. During a closed scrimmage, reports leaked that LeBron went full speed, no restrictions. Those who witnessed it say he looked vintage, hitting fadeaways, bulldozing through defenders, commanding the floor with ease. The energy in the gym was described as electric. Players stopped mid-drill just to watch. "He's back," one assistant coach muttered under his breath, almost afraid to believe it. Within hours, the story breaks online. Hashtags explode. Hashtag Return of the King trends worldwide. The NBA's official page posts a single crown emoji, and within minutes, millions of fans flood the comments. The stage is officially set. Back home, LeBron spends the night before his return in solitude. No cameras, no press, just the quiet hum of reflection. The house is filled with trophies and memories, yet he focuses on one thing: the feeling of the court, the rhythm of the game. He replays the mental film of every challenge, every moment of doubt, every headline that questioned his durability. It all condenses into a single purpose: As dawn breaks, he whispers to himself what he's said since day one: strive for greatness. This isn't nostalgia. It's renewal. The king isn't coming back to remind the world who he was. He's coming back to show what greatness still looks like when time runs out but belief doesn't. The night has finally arrived. November 18th, the date that felt like a rumor for weeks, now glows across every digital screen in the world. Outside the Crypto.com arena, the streets are a sea of gold and purple. Fans chant in unison, holding handmade signs that read, "The King returns." Camera flashes light up the Los Angeles skyline like a constellation reborn. Inside, the atmosphere is thick with anticipation. The air hums with the sound of thousands of voices, all waiting for a single silhouette to emerge from the tunnel. Broadcasters speak in hushed tones, commentators almost whispering, as if raising their voices might somehow disrupt the gravity of the moment. This isn't just another NBA game, it's a global broadcast of resilience, legacy, and the defiance of time itself. Back in the locker room, LeBron sits alone for a moment, headphones on, eyes closed. The world outside is roaring, but his mind is silent. He runs his hand over his knees, the same ones that carried him through 2 decades of dominance, countless battles, and endless comparisons. Around him, teammates prepare in near reverence. Luka Doncic laces his shoes methodically, stealing quick glances toward LeBron. Marcus Smart paces with intensity, whispering to himself, while Ayton adjusts his wristbands like a warrior tightening armor. JJ Redick, standing near the doorway, watches the room with quiet pride and a touch of disbelief. He knows he's about to witness something that will be replayed for decades. Then, with a deep breath, LeBron rises. No words, no speeches. Just presence. And that's enough to command silence from everyone in the room. The tunnel walk begins. Each step echoes louder than the last. Security parts the crowd as the arena lights dim to black. On the Jumbotron, a highlight reel flickers to life. A symphony of dunks, game winners, and titles. The voiceover is simple yet powerful. 20 years later, the story continues. And then from the shadows he appears. The crowd erupts. It's not just cheering, it's a collective exhale from millions who have held their breath for months. Phones rise, tears flow, and strangers hug. LeBron lifts his chin, scanning the sea of faces, then points skyward. The king has returned. From the opening tip, the energy feels supernatural. Every dribble echoes like thunder. LeBron's first touch of the ball draws a roar that shakes the rafters. He moves cautiously at first, calculated, patient, testing his rhythm. A quick spin move here, a bounce pass there. But then, something changes. Midway through the first quarter, he gets the ball at the top of the key, stares down his defender, and without hesitation drives to the rim. Contact. Whistle. And one. The arena explodes. Luka runs over, slapping his chest in celebration, while JJ Redick pumps a fist on the sidelines. It's not just a play, it's a statement. After months of silence and speculation, LeBron James has just told the world he's still here. As the game unfolds, it becomes clear that this isn't nostalgia. This is evolution. LeBron's movements carry the wisdom of time. Every pass a calculation, every decision a masterclass in control. His chemistry with Luka looks effortless, a generational fusion of IQ and instinct. The ball flows through them like electricity, igniting fast breaks and feeding Ayton's dominance inside. Smart's defense turns into poetry, diving, clawing, pushing the tempo. And through it all, LeBron orchestrates with calm authority. The opposing team tries to disrupt him, double him, force turnovers, but the king doesn't flinch. His patience becomes their undoing. The cameras capture everything. The sweat glistening on his temples, the focus in his eyes, the subtle nods to teammates after perfect possessions. Commentators are left speechless. It's like watching a time traveler, one says. Another adds, he's not defying age, he's redefining it. By halftime, LeBron has 14 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. The Lakers lead by double digits, and the entire basketball world is glued to their screens. On social media, the reactions are explosive, hashtags trend across continents, and even rival players tweet in disbelief. The comeback isn't just physical, it's spiritual. Then comes the fourth quarter. The Lakers cling to a narrow lead and tension thickens. With 2 minutes left, the game is tied. The arena is on its feet. LeBron brings the ball up the court, guarded by a younger, hungrier defender eager to make a name off him. Dribble. Step back. Fade away. The ball arcs high, impossibly high, and drops clean through the net. The crowd detonates. Time seems to freeze as LeBron backpedals, calm as a storm eye, mouthing a single phrase to the cameras, "Still the king." It's more than bravado, it's truth carved into motion. When the final buzzer sounds, the scoreboard reads victory. LeBron finishes with a near triple-double. The crowd doesn't leave, they stay, chanting his name as confetti falls like stardust. JJ Redick embraces him mid-court, emotion breaking through professionalism. Luka lifts his arms to the crowd, shouting in joy, while Ayton and Smart slap hands in disbelief. For one night, everything feels aligned. History, talent, destiny. As LeBron waves to the fans, he smiles, but behind that expression lies understanding. This isn't just a comeback. It's a message to time itself. You can slow me down, but you can't stop me. The game is over, but the night refuses to end. The echoes of LeBron's return still ripple through the city like aftershocks of an earthquake. Outside the arena, fans linger long after the final buzzer, chanting his name into the cool Los Angeles night. The streets vibrate with car horns, fireworks, and disbelief. Reporters scramble to broadcast live reactions, their voices barely audible over the roar of celebration. Social media becomes an avalanche, millions of posts flood in within minutes. Highlights of his fadeaway shot are replayed endlessly, set to dramatic music, captioned with phrases like, "The king never left," and "age is just a number." Even those who doubted him now find themselves caught in the awe of what they've just witnessed. The sports world isn't just reacting, it's recalibrating. Inside the locker room, the energy is a strange mix of exhaustion and electricity. Sweat still glistens on every player, yet the smiles are endless. Luka Doncic sits beside LeBron, replaying clips of their assists on a tablet, laughing like a kid who just met his hero. DeAndre Ayton leans against the wall, towel over his head, whispering, "Man, that was different." JJ Redick, once a broadcaster analyzing legends, now stands in the center of it all, speechless, emotional. "That was history," he finally mutters. Cameras are banned from entering at first, allowing the team a few sacred minutes of privacy. But what happens inside is already becoming legend. LeBron standing up, addressing his teammates not as the superstar they worship, but as a man among brothers. "We're just getting started," he says, voice low but steady. The room erupts. Across the sports media landscape, the narrative explodes. ESPN dedicates an entire segment titled LeBron, The Return of Immortality. Analysts who once questioned his longevity now call the performance a blueprint for athletic evolution. Charles Barkley, usually blunt and skeptical, simply shakes his head on live television and admits, he's built different. Every statistician digs through archives, comparing his return numbers to past legends, Jordan, Kobe, Kareem, and none quite match the combination of control, power, and precision LeBron displayed. It's as if he's rewritten the biological timeline of greatness. Even rivals text congratulations privately, acknowledging what the world already knows. No one has ever mastered time quite like LeBron James. Brands react instantly. Nike drops a limited edition sneaker within hours, the Return LXVI, featuring the date 11.18 embossed in gold. Sales crash servers worldwide. Streaming platforms push documentaries and retrospectives. Talk shows, podcasts, and news networks transform his comeback into a cultural event, dissecting not only the performance but the philosophy behind it. What drives someone to keep chasing perfection when there's nothing left to prove? The answer, according to those closest to him, is deceptively simple. He still loves the game. He still hears the rhythm of the ball as music, still sees the court as poetry in motion. That love, more than anything else, keeps him ageless. Meanwhile, back in the arena's tunnels, LeBron walks slowly toward the press conference. His steps are deliberate, measured, not with arrogance but with reflection. Cameras flash like lightning as he takes the stage. The room falls silent. For a moment he simply looks around, then smiles. "It feels good to be back," he says, the understatement of the century. Reporters bombard him with questions about the injury, about age, about the pressure. He answers each one with calm precision, occasionally glancing toward Luka sitting nearby. When asked if this was the beginning of the end, LeBron chuckles softly. "I don't think about endings," he says. "I just play until the story tells itself." The quote spreads like wildfire, a poetic manifesto for every athlete who's ever feared the ticking clock. Later, as the team bus rolls through downtown Los Angeles, the city outside glows with purple lights projected onto buildings. Fans wave banners from rooftops. Feels like a parade without planning. Inside the bus, music plays softly while players scroll through highlights on their phones. Luka nudges LeBron, showing a viral clip of his fadeaway with over 20 million views. "You broke the internet again," he laughs. LeBron smiles but says nothing, staring out the window at the city that has witnessed every chapter of his journey, the triumphs, the heartbreaks, the resurrections. For him, this isn't about fame. It's about legacy, not the trophies or the records, but the impact on those who dare to dream past their limits. By the time the bus reaches the team hotel, the night sky begins to fade into early morning. The world is still awake, still buzzing. But LeBron's day isn't done. He walks into his suite, stretches, and sits in silence. On the table lies a single basketball, scuffed, worn, but priceless. He picks it up, spins it in his hand, and whispers almost to himself, "Still got more to do." That's the essence of LeBron James. Never content, never finished, always searching for one more peak to climb. The King's return wasn't the end of an era. It was a reminder that eras don't end when time says so. They end when legends decide they're ready. And tonight, LeBron proved once again, he's far from done. Across the world, the echo of LeBron's return transcends basketball. In Europe, fans wake up to headlines calling him the Eternal King. In Asia, sports bars replay his highlights on loop, crowds roaring at every dunk as if watching a championship final. Social media platforms in Brazil, Japan, and the Philippines trend simultaneously with hashtags like #LeBronReturns and #DefyingTime. News anchors who normally cover politics break into sports commentary just to describe the magnitude of what happened in Los Angeles. It's more than a comeback. It's a global phenomenon, the rare kind of story that unites millions through awe. The entire planet seems to pause and acknowledge one simple truth. Greatness, when it refuses to fade, becomes something closer to myth. In the NBA offices, executives understand what this moment means. The league's numbers surge overnight. Viewership spikes, merchandise sales soar, and ticket prices for future Lakers games double within hours. The business of basketball suddenly feels alive again, fueled by the resurgence of its most iconic figure. Analysts describe it as the LeBron effect, the ability of one man to shift the entire economy of a sport. But beyond the profits and headlines, there's a deeper undercurrent: hope. For young players across the league, LeBron's return serves as proof that longevity isn't just about surviving, it's about evolving. It's a message to every athlete staring down injuries, fatigue, or doubt, that with discipline, knowledge, and love for the game, the human body can defy expectations longer than anyone ever imagined. Back in Cleveland, where it all began, a massive mural of LeBron is lit up again downtown. Crowds gather beneath it, holding candles and signs that read, "Still our King." In Miami, fans wear old Heat jerseys, celebrating as if part of his triumph belongs to them too. And in Akron, the city that raised him, schools dedicate assemblies to his return, teachers telling kids that greatness isn't defined by where you start, but how far you're willing to go. Local reporters capture emotional interviews with fans who followed his journey since he was 18. "He gave us hope when we had nothing," one man says, voice cracking. "And now he's showing us that age is just another opponent to beat." It's not just admiration, it's inspiration made tangible. Meanwhile, the debate reignites. Is LeBron now the undisputed greatest of all time? Analysts fill hours of airtime comparing eras, stats, and legacies. Jordan loyalists cling to the myth of perfection, Kobe devotees speak of killer instinct, and LeBron's defenders point to longevity and versatility, the ability to adapt across generations without losing dominance. Yet, beneath all the noise, there's an undeniable shift in tone. For years, comparisons framed him as chasing ghosts. But now, after 23 seasons, LeBron is no longer chasing anyone. He has become his own standard, the living embodiment of reinvention. The GOAT debate may never end, but after this comeback, one truth resonates louder than all others. He's still writing his story while others have long closed theirs. Sports scientists are fascinated too. Articles appear in medical journals analyzing how his recovery process could redefine athletic rehabilitation. Experts dissect his diet, his biomechanics, his mental approach to longevity. They call it the LeBron model, a fusion of biology, data, and mindset that challenges traditional aging in sports. Universities begin designing studies based on his performance, while trainers around the world adopt his recovery techniques. What started as a basketball narrative has become a case study in human optimization. LeBron's discipline is no longer just admired, it's studied, replicated, and taught. In many ways, his body has become both a temple and a textbook. Even rivals can't escape the gravity of his influence. Younger stars, Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, publicly praise him, calling his comeback motivation to never give up. Former opponents like Dwayne Wade and Kevin Durant post heartfelt messages online, expressing respect for his relentless drive. It's not about proving people wrong anymore, Durant writes. It's about proving what's possible. The NBA community, once divided by competition, momentarily feels united by admiration. Legends from different generations, from Kareem to Curry, acknowledge the same sentiment. LeBron's story has transcended the court. It's now part of the cultural DNA of the sport itself. And as the media storm swirls, LeBron remains calm. He trains, recovers, and smiles through interviews, careful not to indulge in the chaos. To him, legacy isn't a trophy or a statistic. It's the quiet consistency of showing up every day no matter the noise. When asked about being called immortal, he laughs softly and says, "I'm human. I just work like I'm not." It's a line that spreads like wildfire, quoted in articles, printed on shirts, etched into murals. It captures the essence of who he is, a man who refuses to bow to time not because he believes he's above it, but because he believes in what's beyond it, purpose. As the sun sets on Los Angeles that week, the city glows with golden light reflecting off the arena's glass. The Lakers logo beams proudly against the dusk sky, symbolizing not just a franchise reborn, but an idea renewed, that greatness doesn't age, it evolves. Somewhere inside the practice facility, LeBron laces up once more, sweat dripping, music low, eyes focused. The noise of the world fades away, replaced by the rhythmic bounce of the ball on hardwood. In that moment, he's not a 40-year-old legend or a marketing icon. He's just a kid from Akron chasing the sound of the game he loves. And that, more than records, rings, or debates, is why his story will never truly end. As the final chapter of this extraordinary saga unfolds, the atmosphere around LeBron James feels almost mythic. The season has reached its crescendo. The crowd at Crypto.com Arena rises as if witnessing history being written in real time. Every dribble echoes with nostalgia, every movement feels like a conversation between past and present. The camera pans across faces filled with emotion, fans who've grown up watching him, players who idolized him, and legends who once battled him. When LeBron steps onto the court, the noise dissolves into reverence. It's not just a game anymore. It's a farewell symphony, the closing act of a career that redefined what it means to be great. The scoreboard, the lights, the chants, everything becomes background to the man standing in the center, smiling with the calm of someone who knows he has already conquered time. The game begins and the years seem to melt away. LeBron moves with the same grace that once electrified arenas worldwide. His jump shot falls effortlessly, his passes glide with surgical precision, his defense sharp, disciplined, unrelenting. Younger players attempt to challenge him, but he responds not with dominance, but with poetry. Each play is a memory revisited, each basket a reminder of how far he's come. The commentators fall silent more often than they speak, letting the beauty of the moment tell the story itself. This isn't about numbers anymore, it's about legacy, about the idea that greatness is not measured in records but in resonance. Every cheer, every flash of a camera, every tear in the stands forms part of a living monument built from 2 decades of excellence. When the final buzzer sounds, the arena explodes, not in chaos but in gratitude. Teammates embrace him, opponents bow their heads in respect, and the audience chants a single word that drowns out everything else: King. The sound rolls like thunder through the city streets. Confetti rains down, but LeBron's eyes lift toward the rafters, where banners of past glories hang. His expression carries a quiet understanding. This is not the end, but a transformation. As the lights dim, he walks slowly to center court, raises his hands and looks into the crowd, the same way he did as a rookie but now with the weight of eternity behind him. The ovation lasts nearly 15 minutes, a standing salute not just to the player, but to the man who made millions believe that limits are illusions. Outside the arena, the world reacts in real time. News outlets declare it the farewell of the century. Cities across America light up landmarks in gold and purple. In Paris, the Eiffel Tower glows with a projection of his silhouette mid-dunk. In Rio, beaches fill with fans wearing Lakers jerseys, chanting his name to the waves. In Tokyo, entire subway stations display tributes. It's as if the earth itself is united in a global standing ovation. This isn't just a sports moment, it's cultural, almost spiritual. The boy from Akron has become a symbol of perseverance and reinvention. His story a reminder that human potential doesn't fade with age, it evolves through purpose. Documentaries are already in production, books are being written, and museums are preparing exhibits dedicated to the age of LeBron. Later that night, away from the noise and celebration, LeBron sits quietly in an empty gym. The lights are low, the floor still glistening from the earlier game. He bounces a ball softly, the echo filling the silence. He looks at his reflection in the polished wood and smiles, not with pride but with peace. His journey from the streets of Akron to global immortality feels like a circle finally complete. He whispers something under his breath, almost inaudible, still chasing greatness. It's not about competition anymore, it's about legacy as a living, breathing force. Somewhere deep inside, he knows his impact will ripple through generations of players who will study his resilience, his discipline, his belief in self. The next morning, the world awakens to a new dawn, the first day after LeBron's final game. Headlines fill every screen, every feed, every newspaper front page. But beyond the media frenzy, something quieter lingers, an emotion shared by millions who grew up watching him redefine what was possible. Parents tell their children about the man who never stopped working. Coaches use his name as a synonym for effort. And on playgrounds around the globe, kids emulate his fadeaway, shouting "James" as the ball arcs toward makeshift hoops. Legacy, it turns out, isn't about being remembered, it's about continuing to inspire after the applause fades. Years from now, when new stars dominate the league and fresh debates emerge, the echoes of this moment will still be felt. His name will live not just in statistics but in stories, in the hearts of those who learned through him that greatness isn't a destination, but a decision made every single day. The myth of LeBron James will grow not because of what he achieved, but because of how he made people believe they could achieve too. And in that timeless belief lies his truest victory, one that no buzzer, no era, no opponent will ever take away.